Tiffany might know her way around comedy, but there's still a thing or two she's got to learn when it comes to being involved in petty scandals. It appears that Tiffany Haddish has finally confirmed that Jennifer Hudson and her ex-boyfriend Common are dating, but not in a way you'd expect. Apparently, Hudson is throwing all the shade she can gather at Common and Jennifer. The comedian recently recorded a video for TikTok in which she answered fan questions, one of which focused on the rapper-turned-actor and his alleged infidelity. Here's everything you need to know. Recently, a fan on TikTok questioned Tiffany Haddish about a pair of earrings she had received from Common during their relationship, but they weren't sure if Common actually gave them to her. Known for her wit, in response, Haddish promptly stated that she had never received the earrings and speculated that Common might have given them to Jennifer, suggesting that her ex-boyfriend might have finally moved on. Speculation was sparked when Common and Hudson were seen leaving Nobu in Malibu together back in February. The rapper's relationship with Hudson is said to be his first since parting ways with Haddish in 2021. Haddish and Common had a year of public dating before their busy schedules caused them to break up. But could Tiffany really not hold a man down? Or was it actually the bus schedules? Well, we are not saying that. Those are some risky waters that apparently the comedian and actress Monique is currently swimming in. Not too long ago, on Shannon Sharpe's popular podcast, Club Shay Shay, comedian and truth-teller Monique recently discussed an event in which she overheard fellow comic Tiffany Haddish discussing her family. Monique described how, in a magazine interview, Haddish made fun of her and her husband. The Oscar winner had a stunning comeback when she joked that Haddish might not get into as much. Monique also spoke with Sharpe about a particular incident involving Tiffany Haddish's remarks in GQ magazine during an extensive interview. Monique voiced her opinion that they were unintentionally making fun of one another. She described an incident from the interview in which Haddish was said to have made comments about how her business dealings were different from Monique's, implying that she was relieved not to have a marriage. Haddish doesn't even know her husband. Monique called Haddish's comments out for what it is: ironic. She then offered a sobering observation. If Haddish had a spouse like hers, she might have been able to avoid some very notable issues. Although Monique insisted that she didn't mean to offend anyone, she felt obliged to address the implications of Haddish's remark about having a husband similar to hers. In response, Sharpe also emphasized that Haddish is not even married, much less has a husband like Monique does. But Haddish isn't the only one that got grilled by Monique. Taraji Henson got it too. Didn't already have enough criticism to contend with, Cat Williams has also hopped on the bandwagon and has a lot to say about Tiffany. When talking about Tiffany Haddish, the typically outspoken Emmy-winning comedian Cat Williams didn't hold back and said that she hadn't earned the success she's achieved. Williams claims that Haddish's achievements are insufficient to meet what he views as necessary standards for success in comedy. He said that she hasn't gone on a solo tour or produced a stand-up special that features her capacity to laugh non-stop for an hour. Williams is still dissatisfied despite Haddish's Showtime special and her recent deal with Netflix for another one. He argued that the excellence of the writing, not Haddish's performance, was what made the 2017 movie Girls Trip successful. Williams also took issue with Haddish's apparent bypassing of more established black female comedians in her rise to fame, including Luenell, Miss Laura Hayes, and Melanie Camarco. In his further criticism of Tiffany Haddish, Cat Williams questioned the sincerity of, well, pretty much everything.
Where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made all lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh.
Williams questioned the premise that Haddish's relatability draws viewers to her and expressed doubt about the assumption that her appeal is a result of her supposed realness. He questioned if what he called a ghetto identity could be made marketable, arguing that characteristics of this kind shouldn't be emphasized or rewarded. Moving forward, Williams made a fairly pointed comment, implying that Haddish's attraction could stem from her purported wish to have romantic relationships with white males, referencing her well-known fondness for Brad Pitt. To further pry into Haddish's personal past, he also asserted that she had been married to and divorced from a white man. Now, Williams may have spoken harshly, but Haddish chose not to get into a public fight with him. Rather, she responded to Williams' remarks on Twitter with grace and humor, stating that she was concentrating on achievement and happiness. Not to mention, Kevin Hart absolutely popped off on Kat a few years ago. He has also come out in favor of Tiffany Haddish after the contentious interview, highlighting the value of unity in the entertainment business. In his statement, Hart emphasized his dedication to supporting his sister in the face of setbacks and not allowing negativity to overshadow her achievements. That's all for today. Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. For more updates, hit the bell icon.